Hello, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. So, today's Sunday, September 29. We have one trading day to go to close the month and, more importantly, close the quarterly candle as well. So, this week, first things first, I'm looking at the economic calendar. It looks like a bit of a heavy week, which is pretty typical for the first week of the month. It's NFP. Because of the fact that it's NFP Monday, although there's no morning news, it might be eventful. I'm not saying it's going to be eventful, but it might be eventful. The reason I'm saying it might be is because Fed Chair Powell speaks in the afternoon session, which might make the morning session a bit choppy, a bit sloppy. But because if it's NFP, either the morning session or the afternoon session should be eventful in terms of price moves. Also, due to the fact that it's the monthly close, I'm expecting, and the quarterly, I'm expecting some sort of volatility. So on Monday, no news on the morning, and a PM session, Fed Chair Powell speaks. This might be like FOMC day, basically chop in the morning and move in the afternoon kind of day. On Tuesday, there's 10 o'clock Red Floor News Driver. Wednesday, 8:15 morning Red Folder News Driver. Thursday should be good. 8:30 and 10 o'clock Red Folder News, and Friday's NFP. I'll be announcing the live stream schedule shortly after this recording, so I'll clear that out. But by the looks of it, I probably will be live streaming the whole week. I'm just not sure about Monday whether I should be live streaming the morning session or the afternoon session. I'm gonna decide it later. So that's for the calendar. And the energy sector, same deal as usual. Midweek is eventful, and NFP on Friday. And if you're trading crude oil, as usual, just focus on the midweek, and crude oil should be bearish. I'll be looking at the chart in a minute. For the earnings, because it's a quarterly close, there's not much going on, but the following weeks should be very impactful in terms of earnings, because it's going to be the last quarter's earnings coming up with the big companies. But this week, nothing much going on the earnings. Alright, charts. Feeling a little tired today. Okay. So here's a Nasdaq chart. On the quarterly time frame, we have we're basically at quarterly open. Very indecisive candle for now, which is why I'm not like expecting huge, large ranges for Monday. I think it's gonna close something like this, maybe a small green candle or a small red candle as possible. But it's going to be closing in 23 hours basically with the Monday's close. So on the weekly, this is where things get a bit interesting. So last week, the market basically purged buy side, failed to close above though, which kind of indicates weakness, and it traded up into the BPR here, all the way up into the BPR, rejected the CE of the BPR, or inversion fair value gap, you can also call it that way. And because of that, we might be seeing early market maker sell model, but depends on how price reacts to sell side. If it accelerates after taking sell side, we'll be looking for these lows. Quite early to tell, but for now, I would expect some sort of a pullback or a market maker sell model on the lower time frames. So let's take a look at the daily. Friday. So on Thursday, we purged the buy side, traded up into the weekly BPR or inversion fair value gap, and on Friday we traded below Thursday's low, which is previous day low. It didn't break out or break down below that low just yet, but if it could, I mean, it could on Monday. So this is going to be conditional. I'll be talking about it in a minute on the lower time frames, but basically what I want to see from price is forming some sort of sell model for Friday's continuation, seeking relative equal lows or sell side early on in the week. Here, let's talk about it on the 4-hourly a little better. It's going to be a better look. So this is what I'm seeing right now on the 4-hourly. The buy side is purged. We are above original consolidation. We were above original consolidation. There is some sort of a jagged move here, so it displays up and displays down. All the bullish PD areas were violated essentially, and it formed a jagged move here, which makes me think that the market, the algorithm, wants to seek some sell side, which in this case we have 2 weeks ago the Friday's low, September 20th, and we have relatively equal lows down below. So I'm thinking about some sort of a sell model down below in these fair value gaps is very likely, but it's going to be conditional, like I said, and the condition is because the Friday's close didn't technically break out of this range. It closed within the range after seeking the sell side. So if this gets back in this accumulation area, that'll change the whole narrative. I'm not going to be looking for a sell side delivery, but if it should break down and close below the sell side, I'll be primarily looking for a sell model here, targeting relative equal lows and then turning bullish, hopefully. So the levels that I'm looking for is primarily 19,860 and equal lows at 19,530. This could be a market maker sell model on the 4-hourly. But again, it has to close outside this range here. So I want to see it kind of close below September 26th, Thursday's low. Right now we're not there. We're still in the range, and there is a potential SMT might be forming here as well, bullish SMT. So I'll be looking for that as well. All right, let's go down. Let's go switch to ES. Ooh, that's a heavy chart. Alright, yes, let's start with the quarterly candle. So ES is definitely the stronger pair. It has already a big green candle on the quarterly, and it's probably going to close like that. Now on the weekly chart, it's swept the buy side. We don't have a candle close above it just yet, which means depends on how this week closes, we might get a weekly SMT divergence up at the all-time highs on ES. But that doesn't change the narrative for this week anyways, because the swing high has to be confirmed, so weekly is kind of irrelevant for now. On the daily, same deal as Nasdaq. It basically rated the buy side, and then on Friday it tried to reach down to the Thursday's low, previous day low. It failed to do so, which means we have a 4-hourly SMT might be forming up here. It is not confirmed, but if it forms a bullish SMT here, then I'll be ditching the sell side objectives, sell side annotations, and I'll be primarily looking for buy side delivery. Again, it's very conditional just for now, but tomorrow by the time New York opens, we're gonna have a better idea about what market wants to or might want to do. But it's pretty similar deal as Nasdaq. So we expanded higher initially, took buy side, we have displacement, and then it basically collapsed on that displacement, formed a SIBI, which means this is a balanced price range, and the order block formation along with the fair value gap was respected. So we had a buy side sweep, internal buy side sweep in the fair value gap, which makes me, this is what made me think, or makes me think, that we are in a sell model right now, and we might seek at least the short-term lows, this one, and the relatively equal lows, and below there we might turn bullish again, sort of like a monthly candle power of 3. So for ES, my key levels for now, unless it confirms the bullish SMT, for now I'll be looking for 5,733, and the primary target would be 5,669. Very conditional. I'll be mentioning this in the notes. If it confirms the SMT, it's gonna be low hanging fruit, basically Friday's high, which is equal highs. If it can't confirm the SMT divergence, we're gonna be seeing basically the first stage distribution of the market maker sell model. All right, crude oil. This asset should be bearish. Let's delete this, delete that. Man, I'm tired. Ooh. Okay, so last week we were trading inside a weekly SIBI. This is also daily SIBI as well. And what it looks like, there it is, I should be taking like that. But it looks like to be that the crude oil rejected the CE of the daily fair value gap and left behind relative equal lows, which is resting at 61.98. I want to see crude oil giving short setups this week, levitating towards 61.9 or 62-ish, and we have low-hanging fruit essentially, low-hanging fruit objective essentially resting at 64s. Now on the daily, this will look even better. Here's a daily fair value gap, CE rejection. It displays lower from there. Now we have a new daily SIBI, which is either gonna end up, if it's really bearish, it's gonna end up leaving this fair value gap open as a breakaway gap and just levitate towards the sell side. If it's not really bearish, which is usually the case for crude oil, it likes to chop and goes back and forth. It likes to go back and forth, so it might just close the SIBI all the way and then collapse. I would also look for this candle's CE, the wick, the down close candle's wick, as a potential entry. In fact, I'm gonna keep that there and set an alert up there to see how it acts. When it touches there, I would expect some sort of sensitivity there, which is also below the daily fair value gap, daily CB, below the daily CB CE. Next up, gold. Oh, sometimes I don't know why I'm like painting like that, but anyways, gold. Gold is forming new highs. Like every week I say this. I would not touch gold until it forms or it confirms the daily market maker sell model. Once it confirms the sell model, it's gonna be giving better trades, better setups, targeting the equal lows, resting at 2,352. Right now it's not there yet. We don't even have changing the state of delivery. So in gold, I would be waiting for the daily BIST failing, forming an inversion fair value gap, and then levitating towards 2,352. It's not there just yet. If you're trading gold, or if you like to trade gold, I strongly against doing so. It's at all-time highs. You can scalp it obviously, but if you are expecting, or if you like to trade low resistance liquidity runs just like me, I would wait for the daily time frame alignment targeting the sell side. Next up, DXY. Oh my god, I gotta delete this. Alright, so DXY last week took the low hanging fruit. Let's clean this, let's clean that. Took the low hanging fruit. Initially it did not close below, but last week, with the last week's candle, actually, is that this week? Yeah, okay, with the last week's weekly candle, it closed below, so I would expect the order block from August 26 holding price below, and they should really go for the draw, which is 99.58. So I'm still bearish on DXY. I am not expecting any kind of like buy side delivery or turtle soups anymore because of the fact that it closed below, which confirms the bearish order block. If it goes for any kind of buy side on the daily or the weekly, I would just wait for short setups above those buy sides. As you can see here, there is a volume balance right in the middle of the order block, which is mean threshold, got rejected. They should really go for the sell side and just displace. Draw is 99.57. Bearish DXY means bullish Nasdaq according to ICT. Hope that's true. I would rather be bullish than bearish on indices. All right, next up, Euro USD and GU. Let's go down to daily though. So on the daily, as you guys know it already, I'm very bullish on Euro and GU. So last week, what happened was we had a displacement above a breaker. We came down on Monday into the fair value and the breaker and rated the buy side. Although it didn't close above the buy side, I would expect this accumulation being a long accumulation, sending Euro to the external buy side liquidity and completing this yearly basically market maker buy model. This was basically the whole year for Euro. Once it gets above that buy side or external, I would expect a displacement because it has more unfinished business up here in this leg. As you can see, there's equal highs here. Should be the drawn liquidity, which is also basically the original consolidation on the higher time frame. We have the jagged move down here, equal highs up here, which is at, let me see, 1.19, 1.20 ish. So I would love to see a breakout here and essentially heading towards 120. This is obviously more like a macro time frame analysis because it's the weekly chart. I'm not saying like it's gonna get up there this year or anything, but that should be the actual drawn liquidity regardless of how many times it goes back and forth within this range. This price action looks to me that it just came down to the range EQ, touched the range EQ. Now it should be second stage reaccumulation on the weekly, which means GU, pretty same deal, equal highs. This is the weekly chart, jagged move, came down to range EQ, broke out. Now we have a displacement above the second leg's target, which is this high here, and I would love to see it levitating towards 136, 137 on the daily. Jesus. Regardless of Euro failing at the buy side on the daily, GU actually showed strength, relative strength, and it broke out. We're trading above that buy side, so I'm expecting every down close candle formation holding price, supporting price for more upside move. Here in this leg we don't have a displacement, but let me just zoom in a little bit. But what we have is we have Wednesday's down close candle. As long as its mean threshold holds, I would expect that candle's high basically getting violated here. Early on, we might see some sell side, not gonna lie, we might, but overall it should be bullish. So if you're trading forex currencies, you should be looking for more long setups than short setups intraday. And last but not least, crypto, Bitcoin. So last week I had an idea of a potential turtle soup here, which means price rating the buy side, which it did. Then I was expecting the inversion fair value gap, or like the BPR area here, holding price below, rating equal lows, which didn't happen. That level, the BPR, got inverted, so things are looking more bullish on Bitcoin than bearish. Let's delete all that. And here, as you can see, the BPR, basically inversion fair value gap now, supported the price also, held it above. Now I want to see it levitating towards upside, and the draw, let's clean this. The draw should be the equal highs at around 72. This, Bitcoin's narrative could actually change pretty fast, because I can see this going for it. Like, that was the initial idea that I had, because it left equal lows here. Relatively equal lows, and this wick. Market doesn't like to leave wicks like this out of open. So because of the fact that it left it open, I was thinking about basically a double purge. Basically a double purge, like here it goes for the sell side first, then buy side, but apparently it looks like it's going to be buy side first. Depends on what happens here, we might go for sell side. But overall, this week I'm anticipating a green up close candle on the weekly from Bitcoin. Now, since I mentioned the weekly chart, I wanted to say something about Nasdaq that I forgot. Let me just annotate that as well. So the weekly, we formed a BISI from last week, and we have the Friday's low, which is I think September 26th, right? September 20th. I was looking for that level, that sell side, act as a draw on liquidity the whole week last week. Didn't get down there, but I think right now it has more potential to get below, because of the fact that we have a weekly BISI, and that sell side, the Friday's low. This is 2 weeks ago though, the Friday from 2 weeks ago, September 20 Friday low. So I want to see that level, that sell side getting targeted, which means price could actually go for a retest of the weekly BISI below that level here, and then turn bullish. And that'll be a monthly PO3 as well, open, high, low, and close, starting Tuesday. So that is the key level that I have from the daily chart, which is at 19,860. I'll have it the whole week this week. I recommend you to do the same thing. I still do not think that low here will be left unpurged or untouched. All right, I guess that is it for now. Let me see if I missed anything. I covered the futures. Bitcoin is covered. DXY, Euro, USD, GU covered. All right, cool. Let me see. It's a nice weekly FVG. Oh, yeah. Good evening, Sir Nasdaq. Good evening, Skaj. How you doing, guys? Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place today because I had a overnighter. Didn't sleep much, but yeah. So, guys, I'll be posting the charts in about probably 30 minutes or so with all the notes that I mentioned during the stream, along with the recording of the stream. So if it seems like it confusing to you for now, rest assured the annotations and the screenshots of the charts itself and the notes will clear all the questions and confusion, hopefully. But if you still have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll be around. But yeah, let's get after it, guys. Be careful with Monday though, as I was talking about it earlier. We have Fed Chair Powell speaking in the afternoon session, which might cause choppiness in the morning session, but also it's NFP week, so Monday morning might also be eventful as well, regardless of Fed Chair Powell speaks. So my recommendation is show up in the morning session. If it's moving, if it's not like chopping around, it's gonna be tradable. But if it's like too slow, not forming any fair value gaps, or the PD arrays are failing on both sides, I would say just wait for Fed Chair Powell speaks before placing any trades. The reason I'm saying the morning session might be eventful is because of the fact that it's the monthly close, quarterly close, and NFP Monday. So NFP Mondays are usually not that bad. So yeah, that is it for now, guys. I'll talk to you guys shortly. Thanks for being in here on Sunday, and I hope y'all enjoyed the weekend, rested, and I hope you all are ready to get after it, because I surely am. Until I talk to you next time, have a great day, have a great week. See ya.